Morning everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you've subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I've had an overwhelmingly amount of comments. I love all your comments. Everyone has great questions, great suggestions. It's really helping me put this channel together and start kind of finalizing and detailing exactly which direction I want to go. So thank you all for supporting it at such a short time. I hit my 200 mark subscriber. I am completely and utterly humbled by this response, and I want to bring a lot more to you. I will be honest, my business is picking up a lot, so it's made it extremely difficult to keep that flow of videos every week. I'm going to try my very best to kind of adjust my schedule so I can bring you more videos in the future. But for today, what I would like to do is I would like to give you a little bit of my experience at my ranch. I know I've shown you some of my orchids. I've shown you what I do with my orchids, some of the species that I'm growing, some of the orchids I just bought at the show. But what I would like to do today is do a walkabout in my ranch and just show you more or less what I do on a daily basis. I don't just have orchids, I do have crops in my ranch. We grow avocados, mangoes, bananas, guavas, tamarind, papaya. We have a lot of stuff here in the ranch that we grow and that we eat ourselves. We grow everything organically, as organically as we can, and we use well water, so everything is very clean, which is one of the reasons our orchids do so well here. They don't get drenched with so many chemicals or things, additives that are put into city tap water. So with well water, you already get your calcium, your minerals, so that's a big plus. And I hadn't mentioned that before, but I think it's something that needs to be said so people get a feel of how orchids survive in different types of conditions and different types of water. And in our case, our water really helps our orchids a lot. Now, there's a caveat. The caveat is, because it's high in calcium, you do get spots on your leaves. So if you see my orchids very spotty, trust me, I have tried cleaning the leaves off, shining them. They look beautiful for a day, and when I water them, they go right back to having white spots. So I kind of just gave up on that and just enjoy the beautiful flowers. They're healthy, and the spots really don't damage them or do anything to the leaves. But anyways, again, I want to thank everybody for following me, for subscribing, and now without further ado, let's go take a walk. So I decided, let's start with the orchid room. I've shown you all my orchids, but I've never really explained where I keep them and what kind of structure it is that they're under. So I just want to show you, this started as a workshop. In here, that was going to be a workshop, right? So after the workshop was finished, I had the brilliant idea of saying, hey, why don't we add a green room next to it and make it not just a functional place, but aesthetically make it look beautiful. So that's when I started placing all my orchids that I had in my terrace inside here and creating sort of like a little orchid haven. So here you can see a full view of how I keep all my orchids. I usually keep the ones that are more light sensitive in this area, simply because it's covered by clear plastic roofing, so it is filtered light. It does get the morning, it's very early right now, so as you can see, the sun does come through the trees and gives it some type of filtered lighting, and they seem to love it. I mean, look how beautiful the light hits this flower, these three flowers right here. I mean, I can take a picture of this and it's set. You can frame that. So they do get a little bit of morning light. And then inside the screen room, which is where I've done some of my videos and you're probably familiar with, it's where I have most of my Vandas and all my phals are on this shelving. So they do receive a little bit of a stronger light. This screening roof or ceiling, however you want to call it, it's actually 70% UV protected. So 70% of it is blocked out, so they don't get burned, they don't get yellow leaves. Some plants do. This one started getting yellow leaves, and I realized it's because the sun is starting to shift. You know, from spring, from winter to spring, the sun shifts. As you can see it there, it's actually here during the winter, but then it starts moving and then it becomes directly on top. So the sun does become a little bit stronger, and I do have to change some of my plants around a bit. So that's part of the fun. I love reorganizing. So in here, I'm always reorganizing according to the light, also according to the rainy season. If I see that there's certain plants that are not crazy about too much rain, like my whole begonia collection, they love water, but sometimes too much is not good. So I try to keep an eye on them during the rainy season. All right, let's move forward, because there's a lot to talk about. And I don't want this video segment to be an hour long. I do own 5 cats. I have, actually no, 6, that's a correction. This is Simba. Hey Simba, say hi. Say hi to YouTube, to the YouTube people. Come on, you're very vocal. He's shy. But anyway, I have 4 cats outdoors, and I have 2 cats indoors. They're all fixed, they're all pampered, they're all spoiled, because I love to spoil my pets. And they keep my yard clean, free from any critters that shouldn't be here, destroying my plants. Here I keep my collection of Bougainvillea bonsais. I started bonsaiing bougainvilleas years ago, and then I stopped for a while. And now that I have the space, I started again. So I have several that are ready to be potted, like this one I've been training. And they're a lot of fun to create. Bougainvilleas are very resistant to changes. You can put them from one pot to another and they will not die on you. It's very, very tough to kill them. Now in this area here, I'm sorry, the sun is pretty bright. It's 8 o'clock in the morning now. This area here I call vandaline. I'm putting all my vandas that are not blooming or that don't have any spikes, I put them here. As you can see, there's not that many because most of them are spiking. So I have them in the green room. I have this one that I have to go ahead and put inside the green room, only because I do have a lot of squirrels here and I don't want them eating my flowers. But see, this is a golden doubloon from Banyang. It's a beautiful, beautiful vanda. I will inset a flower because right now it's only in spike. And it has a incredible scent. One of my favorite scents. It's like a mix of jasmine and gardenia and bubblegum. It's very sweet scented. It's one of my favorite scents in an orchid. But look at this beauty, how big he's gotten. See, for me, he's a male for some reason. The flower looks very masculine to me. I tend to do that with my plants. I give them genders. It's just an easy way for me to kind of describe them. So all these are waiting to, well, this one's already ready to bloom, but the rest of them have already bloomed, or I'm waiting for them to bloom. All right. When I first acquired this property, people were giving me gifts, you know, Phalaenopsis as a housewarming gift. So I started putting the Phalaenopsis on the trees. Now, unfortunately, this one got thrips. And I just discovered it not too long ago. So I started spraying her with thrips. But most of them are doing wonderful, like this Oncidium, which smells amazing. It was a tiny little orchid when I first purchased it 4 years ago, I would say. And I placed her on the Areca palm, and it has taken off. And every year it blooms more and more. This year gave me 7, I believe 6 or 7 spikes. Let's go inside, take a look at it. Look at this, how gorgeous. That fragrance is just, I want to bottle it. Here's one of my favorite phals because it was the very first that I put here on the tree. And my buddy Laz gave this to me for my birthday. So she is actually exactly 3 years old because today is my birthday, April 5th. And yes, I took today off to do a couple of things. And I said I have to record a video before I start my day. If not, I will not get a video in until next week. And I really didn't want to keep you guys waiting that long. There's so much to show. Here are my dendrobiums, just about to start blooming. I got this at the Redland Orchid Show 3 years ago. It was one of the first big shows that I ever started really going to and purchasing orchids, different types of orchids, because I was always used to just getting the phalaenopsis and the dendrobiums. But this orchid, even though it looks dried and dead, it is not. Check this out. She's about to start blooming. Now I can't remember the name of this. I don't have a tag. I will look for it. I know I have pictures of the flowers in bloom from last year. And I will try to identify it because when I first purchased these orchids, I wasn't into the whole keeping the tags, or, you know, I didn't see the importance of it back then, unfortunately. Now I see how important it is to keep your tags and to keep them all identified. And here I have Maxillaria. And this one blooms very nicely, but it likes to bloom in summer, which is kind of odd because I thought they only bloomed this time of year. Here on these areca trees, areca palms, I also have some orchids I want to do only whites here. There, at one point I put all the white orchids in this area, and it was beautiful to see them all blooming. It was like a cascade of white orchids. Let me see, this was given to us. I have no idea what this is. It was given to me as a gift, and I placed it here on the tree and wait to see what it does. Here's another one. These were all gifts from a friend of ours that was moving, and she had a couple of orchids that she couldn't take with her, and she just gave it to us, and so we put them on the areca trees, and they've done well. This cactus here, there he goes. He just doesn't, wherever I go, Simba goes. He is such a cool little mascot to have around, but he is a whiner. So anyways, this here was a cactus that was given to me by Dr. Motes himself. I went to their nursery a while back before COVID, right before COVID actually, and it was right before the Tamiami show. And we were talking for a while, and I was giving him a story of my mom's anniversary and some orchid flowers that opened right on her birthday, and they found it very sentimental. And he went to the back and he says, "Hold on right there, I got something for you." And he brings out like a stem about this big of this cactus, and he says, "I collected this," I forgot where he said, I think Peru or somewhere in the mountains. He says it's a very unique cactus. It will grow these beautiful flowers, and it'll actually give you fruit. Now it's not the dragon fruit, because that's what I thought. He says it's similar, but it's actually prettier. The flower's prettier. So I brought it home. I had no idea how to even grow this. So I basically put it in a pot with dirt, and it started growing. Once it got really lanky and leggy, I took it out and I planted, because I noticed it had these air roots. So Laz and I were looking at it, and Laz tells me, you know, if it has air roots, it's gonna hang. It's supposed to hang onto something, a tree, a wall, or something. So I did that. I put it on one of my mango trees, and immediately it started wrapping its roots onto the tree and giving me new babies. All these are new since I put it on the tree. So it seems to really like this area. If any of you know what this is, because Dr. Moats did tell me the name, but you know me and names. I try. All right. So I've shown you some of the things I have. I mean, there's so much more, but like I said, this video would take very, very long. Oh, by the way, here are all my Sansevieras. I'm a huge fan of Sansevieras. They have, in case you didn't know, these plants produce the most incredible fragrant flower at night. It's like a long stem with tiny little white flowers, and the fragrance is intense. As a matter of fact, Todd from Todd Tropical just posted an image on it, and we were talking about it. I told him that, you know, I had a couple, and I had, unbeknownst to me, I had no idea they produced a flower. And the day that I saw like a long stem, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be like an aloe that shoots that long stem, but really doesn't have any fragrance. Boy, was I wrong. Before you even walk in the room, you smell it. Here's my ghost cactus, which I found out it's not really a cactus. It's forgot what they call them, but again, I will put the name underneath. And we're back to my orchid space. Let me just take a second and show you. I know I showed you this in my What's in Bloom, but all three of them are finally open, and it's a show. I got these from Lady Vanda, and she was so right when she told me, wait until all three open. You're gonna be blown away. And then I got this one at Ophi's last year from the back. They were just starting to pull them out, and when I saw them, I said, I gotta take one of these. And it's got 1, 2, and sorry about that, 1, 2, and 3. And that was a big one. I mean, you can see how big the leaves are. My rainbow Talumia is completely opened as well. Last time I showed you, I think there was only one. Now it's completely open, and it really surprised me. I thought the rainbow, Girac rainbow that I found online looks nothing like this one. So I'm thinking either A, it got tagged wrong, or B, there's just different types of Girac rainbow that take different patterns. Because I know that at Bangyong's, the Ben Fantasies, there's different types of colors, but it's all the same. It's all from the same process. So I don't know, but I'm very happy that it gave me this color, because, I mean, look at that. That to me, I can just stare at this all day. It's almost like tie-dyed. And I do like the combination of red and pink together. I think that's one of my favorite combinations in orchids, the red and pink together. Here's the other Talumia, which is, it's hot. It's like a bloody red, and then around the edges, it's like almost like an ombre effect, going from dark red to almost like a champagne light pink. Very pretty. Here is, I call it my Spanish dancer. I don't know why, but I bought this Psychopsis at some awkward nursery, and the reason I say awkward is because it was like in a corner, no name, no nothing, and they had the most amazing collections. And I bought this one, and when it opened, I was like, wow, that's peculiar. And they always open like this. It almost looks like a roughly dress, like a Spanish dancer's dress. All right, folks, that is the end of our tour. Thank you so much for sticking by. I hope this was interesting, enjoying. I hope you found it educational. please leave your comments below. Your comments do help me fine-tune my videos and give you exactly what you want to see and what you want to hear. I am planning on bringing you educational videos in the future. I'm working on that. I'm actually trying to work my schedule into this newfound passion of YouTubing. So I'm trying to work that schedule where I can consistently give you videos at least every week. It's been a little bit challenging these past few days, but I can do it. Like I said, today's my birthday and I'm here doing a video for you, and I wouldn't want it any other way. So I want to thank you all for leaving your comments. I want to thank my mentors out there in YouTube video land, like Blanca's Orchid Garden, Ted's Tropical. You guys reached out to me. You told me how much you like my channel and to keep going, and that is so validating. Thank you so much. This community is so freaking awesome. Like, everybody comes together. This is not a competition as in other businesses that I've been in, other projects I've been. People tend to become very competitive. This community is quite the opposite. This community helps each other, they support each other, they encourage each other, and they reach out to let you know that you're doing a good job. And I could not be in a better group of people. So thank you so much for making me feel at home, and thank you for validating everything that I'm doing. I promise I will not let you down. I will give you the best videos I can give you in the future, and keep learning. As I give you videos, I learn myself as well. Like I told Todd from Todd's Tropical. I'm sorry, it's so early in the morning. Sorry, Todd, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, as Todd was telling me, as I was saying, Todd pronounces the names of the plants very well. So I told him that I hope that someday I could pronounce them as clean and as perfect as he does on his channels. So yes, this community is very tight and we all help each other. So to all of you, one big virtual hug, and I will see you on the next segment. This is Nature Nell, and remember, keep it green.